From alien ring worlds to war-torn planets, the Halo franchise has brought us to many mysterious and exciting locations. And while I'm not getting tired of these locations anytime soon, there's an aspect of Halo that remains untapped in regard to its potential. Space battles. Now, I don't need to tell you that Long Night of Solace from Halo Reach is a great frickin' mission. The way you fight your way into a space station, through the station, into a ship, you go up into space, fight your way defending your own ships from Covenant invaders, then you go and you attack a Covenant ship, disable it from the outside, take down its guarding fighters, land on it, go inside of it, and then blow it up from within. Like, that is just such a cool mission structure. The thing is, this isn't the first place that I've seen it. In fact, I've seen this exact same structure done a lot better. Where, you might ask? Well, I'm about to go full boomer on you and bring you back to Battlefront 2. No, not that one. That one. You see, in Star Wars Battlefront 2, whether you're playing the campaign, instant action, multiplayer, or galactic conquest, you can always end up finding yourself in space battles. Now, the way these battles happen is that you have two main ships, capital ships if you will, and then alongside them you have frigates. Now, you can have anywhere from 1 to 2, and I think in some maps even 3 frigates. Now, the way these battles work is that depending on the planet you're around, the battles will be laid out differently. If you're in open space, the ships will be laid out in a different position. Sometimes they're next to each other, sometimes one's in front of the other, sometimes one's on top of the other. And then you have the frigates in between, also assorted depending on the location of the space battle. Now, your goal in these space battles is to reach a certain amount of damage points against the enemy. It's literally a war of attrition as to who receives the most amount of points first, and you get these points by destroying frigates or destroying parts of the main ship. Or if you want, you can just focus on dogfighting and take out enough enemy ships until you get the certain amount of points that you would need. Now, this setup in terms of points being what you need to eventually win might sound arcadey and out of place. However, it's actually really good at encouraging and making different play styles applicable. For example, I could take a ship and focus on taking out the frigates and then the main ship from the outside, doing damage by doing different bombing runs. Or I could spend the entire space battle taking down enemy fighters in dogfight after dogfight, slowly building up those points. Or I could take a boarding party into the enemy's main capital ship and destroy it from the inside. Now, those are 3 very different gaming experiences. However, they all coexist and they all work out just as well as the other. So it's up to you as the player to decide which one seems the most fun to you, or switch between them. You have options, and it's amazing. Moving on to the intricacies of how Battlefront 2 space battles work, let's start going over the different classes. Not troop classes, but ship classes. You have your standard fighter that acts as a jack of all trades. You can dogfight with this thing, or you could do bombing runs. This is your go-to fighter if you're not sure what exactly your play is going to be, and if you want to change things up on the fly. You have your bomber, which is really geared towards the destruction of larger ships like frigates, or the main ship. While the bomber packs a punch, it's going to take hits quite more easily and will not maneuver as well or perform as well in a dogfight as, say, the standard fighter. I'm not sure what the formal phrasing is for this type of ship. I'm just going to call it a speed ship. Is specifically geared towards dogfighting. This ship will not do a lot of damage and basically cannot do bombing runs on frigates or the enemy's main capital ship. However, it's fast, hard to hit, and great for targeting single fighters. Last but not least, you have the boarding craft. Now, this ship will not excel in any of the aforementioned situations. Instead, the boarding craft is meant to take you and as many men as possible into your enemy's capital ship so that you create a spawn point for you and your troops to continuously assault the enemy ship. Moving on to the actual playable troops that you can play as, the first category is the pilot. Now the pilot is geared towards, well, you guessed it, piloting. The pilot can repair their ship while you're flying it, and can repair it once it's landed. The pilot is equipped with a weak pistol that does not run out of ammo, but needs to recharge after continuous use. The pilot also has timed detonators, so if you do manage to land in your enemy ship, you can place these detonators and still do some damage, even as this weaker, more ship-focused class. Generally, if you're going to play as the pilot, you should be taking the outside or dogfighting approach to getting those combat points. On the other hand, we have the Marine. Now the Marine is like the polar opposite of the pilot. While you can still get into ships and fly around and take things down from the outside, the Marine is meant to be deployed inside of your enemy ship. They start with an assault rifle, a rocket launcher, and 4 grenades. These guys are meant to get into your enemy ship and destroy the engines, the life support systems, and the shieldings from within, as well as take out the enemies before they can get into their ships and fly out of there. You and another player can use these classes in tandem. One player can focus on being the boarding party Marine, go into the enemy ship, and take out the shields ahead of time, while the pilot will be waiting outside, and as soon as those shields are down, will proceed to tear apart the enemy's capital ship. It's a perfectly balanced gameplay loop in which these different classes and ship types play into each other. Oh, and of course, if you want to, you can definitely fly into your enemy's ship, steal one of their ships, and then use it to destroy everything from the outside. The sky's the limit here, or should I say, the stars are the limit. Now let's move on to what this video is truly about. What exactly can Halo, moving forward as a franchise, learn from these space battles in Star Wars Battlefront 2? While Long Night of Solace is an amazing mission, it's still very linear. You start on the beach, you get to the space station, you fight off troops, you destroy the ship from the outside, you land on the ship, and destroy it from the inside. You can't do that in any other order. The next step would be to take a more open approach, which seems to be 343 Industries' idea going with Halo Infinite and onwards. Let me go into the Covenant ship, do a lot of damage, then get back out and start defending mine. Let me focus solely on dogfighting, or let me take out all like the frigate type Covenant ships. Add in different fighters. As cool as it was to use the longsword, some variety, like in Battlefront 2, could go a long way to making this a more replayable experience. Give us some bomber type ships. You know, the longsword can play that jack of all trades standard fighter, and then something like the Banshee could be one of those faster ships meant for, you know, just dogfighting and moving around and not really doing damage to enemy ships. Add in that variety, make the experience more replayable. While I don't think Halo should focus specifically on creating, you know, rigid class systems like what we have in Battlefront 2 with the pilot and the Marine, maybe introduce new weaponry, balanced for doing destruction to ships. You know, you'd have your standard assault rifle, pistol, plasma pistol, but then add in a new kind of plasma launcher that's really good at taking apart enemy shields from the inside. Or add in a new type of railgun sniper weapon that works at taking out boarding parties as they're coming into your ship to land. Like, the potential here is kind of endless once you add in this whole element of destroying ships from the inside. That's a whole nother category of weapons you could put into Halo. The multiplayer opportunities are boundless. Just imagine a new type of big team battle where you have like 100 players in there, each with their own ship, their own capital ship. One side needs to go destroy the frigates and the other capital ship and the other side's trying to do the same. You have players constantly boarding each other. You have players focusing on like dogfighting. Like, this would be an awesome multiplayer experience, and with modern day hardware, it's totally possible. The point is, it doesn't have to be a one-to-one recreation of Star Wars Battlefront 2 space battles. But 343 should really look at the way these battles were structured. The openness, the point-based design, the way multiple strategies all work out, the way ships are classed, the way weapons are balanced. This could be that fresh ground for Halo. Give a little new life into the franchise. Like I said before, I'm not getting tired of exploring Halo rings, and I don't think I ever will. However, I can't deny the fact that something like this would be cool. Long Night of Solace as a multiplayer experience would be amazing. Maybe a Halo spin-off game based solely in space, defending your space station, attacking Covenant space stations, doing dogfights. That would be a fun spin-off to play through. Kind of like how ODST brought us a whole new experience. This could be that next new experience. But anyways, what do you guys think? Would a Halo game set solely on space stations and spaceships be boring and repetitive? Do you think it would be great? What do you think about applications for multiplayer? Let me know down in the comments below. Anyways, this has been Pliskin. I'm gonna get back to playing some Star Wars Battlefront 2. Over and out.